come the boss lady, the Kelly Holland Show. Watch out, let's go. Here come the boss lady, the Kelly Holland Show. Let's drop it. Here come the boss lady, the Kelly Holland Show. Come on. She gonna get it right, research all about your life. Her info's always tight, talking just to get inside. Gospel talking, Bible walking, wanna help you see. Faith is calling and she's walking with the victory. The king is on her side and she never quits. Put you on the show and you reminisce. Creative to the point where she's making hits. Business savvy is a Kelly, are you getting this? The Kelly Holland Show. I'm liking this. The Kelly Holland Show. Come on, y'all.
Hello, and thank you for watching. This is the Kelly Holland Show, and I'm so glad you tuned in. Today, we have a special treat for you. We have a very special treat because not only is our next guest coming from a professional level, she's coming from a powerful message, and she did her homework to get this message to you. I don't want to tell you too much. We'll let her do it. Please welcome my guest, Miss Ashley Finley.
Hi, how y'all doing?
Hello, Miss Finley. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. How are you, Miss Kelly?
I am well, and thank you for joining us today. It is such a pleasure to have you. Please let our viewers know who you are, Miss Thing, and what it is that you do. Let them know.
Well, I am Ashley Finley. I am a mother of two energetic boys. I'm a wife. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a children's book author with a background in social work and education. So everything mental wellness, Black excellence, I'm all about it.
Absolutely. And you have some new projects that you were able to put out. Please let our viewers know what you'll be talking about today.
Yes, so today I'll be talking about my two books. The first is called J's Secret Ingredients, a recipe for managing feelings. And it is about a young girl who learns how to manage her emotions while baking with her grandmother. And the second is called No Limits, a story celebrating the unconditional love of a father. And that's all about celebrating unconditional love, like the title says, with Black fathers and Black sons.
Thank you so much. These are topics that are very prevalent in our neighborhoods right now. Our communities are thirsty for this type of information. A lot of times we are often raised by other family members or we're lacking the presence of our fathers. So I am grateful that you were able to take the standpoint to write these books today. But before I ask you any further questions about your books, I am so curious about the journey as to how you even got to a point to want to write. Please start us off from point A.
Ooh, what a journey. It has been an amazing journey. For me, I think it all began when I was a young child. I used to always feel like I hated reading. Like it just wasn't my thing. Everybody had their thing and reading was not mine, okay? But the truth was like, I just didn't connect with the characters that I had in the book available. Like I would read them and it's just not my thing. So I grew up thinking like reading wasn't my thing. And so that's what makes this part of my journey so much more impactful and special for me, is because now I get to create those books that I needed as a child. I get to create those books that I want my children to read with lessons that I feel like are very important. My background is also in education. I was a teacher as well as a clinical social worker.
Okay,
so I
she has
did
the skills to write this information. She is dealing with these youth and young adults, okay, on a personal level, on a professional level. She is in the field, and so this is not opinions being written. This is not a lonely and broken heart being written. This is what we are dealing with on a regular basis. So I'm so glad that you were able to channel this information into something that's tangible for us. Please continue.
Yes, absolutely. So my background is actually in clinical social work. I hold a bachelor's of social work from the University of Texas at Arlington and a master's of social work from Barry University down in the 305 in Miami. And so, yes, So that's my background. I've done mental health therapy. I've done, then I'm a certified teacher as well. Currently, I'm a full-time entrepreneur, full-time wife and mommy. So this is it for me. This is what I do. This is what I love. Just kind of sharing those things that I have learned in my own education journey, as well as my own personal journey, as far as it relates to mental health, managing emotions, unconditional love, all those things that are so important to us as individuals, no matter what your age is. That's what I touch on in these two books.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you did, because mental health was always overlooked. And I think it's to a point where we're starting to open the envelope. I think we've gotten to a point where it's not such a taboo subject. I think it's starting to be a lot more encouraged. I think parents are starting in their youth, and then maybe they're sliding in to get a little self-work, a little self-mending. I know I have definitely gone to counseling. I have definitely encouraged others to check in with their mental health. And when I do speak to others about just putting some time into yourself, putting some time into those thoughts, putting some time into not struggling with the battle of the mind, because that thing, ooh, child. Okay. So how are you able to relate to children as an adult when you're writing about these very sensitive topics?
Oh, that is a great question. I think for me, first of all, a lot of the things that I've been writing about are things that I have learned in my journey, but I have learned them later on in my journey. So I always tell people I've been through a lot of trial and error, a little bit of trial. When I write these things, I really think about how I would have received them as a child. What's the way that you could have packaged this information and given it to me, so I didn't have to be 20, 25 years old trying to learn how to manage my feelings? How could I have taken that lesson as a 5, 10-year-old child and been able to use that growing forward? And I've also worked with children. I've taught 5th grade as well as 7th grade. So, and then I have
Middle
the
school.
we love them because they're amazing, but they're in that space where they're trying to take the lessons that they've learned and implement them. So I have that perspective as well. And then, like I say, I also have 2 kids who are 3 and 1. So we're at the very beginning stage. So I've got the very beginning stage with my kids. I've taught other kids and had interactions with other kids. And then I have my adult self. So I've taken all of that and tried to take that message that's so important and timeless and package it in a way that our kids can receive. And also that we can receive as adults as well, as we are reading and interacting with them, like, hey, I need to take a break. Like, I need to relax. This is how I can do that, just in a little subtle, kind of fun and heartfelt way. And people have really responded to the lessons in the books.
Amen to that. I am so grateful and glad that you are publishing these types of materials. So let's talk about the journey that it takes to go from an idea to an actual product. Were you always thinking that you could do this writing project? Because you said you hated to read. Now all of a sudden, boom, we're an author. It's one thing to be a teacher, a social worker. She got her education, y'all, credentials set, no big deal. But now I'm an author. Totally different field. I mean, how do we go from thought to paper to book?
Oh, that's a very common question that I get. Like, I want to do it. How do I do it? First, the easiest part is to just write. I think that is the easiest part of an author's journey, is writing. Go ahead and write. I actually did start writing as a young kid a little bit, and then I kind of ventured off, and again, felt like it wasn't my thing. It didn't pick it back up until recently. And so that's the first thing you want to do, write. To get you an editor, decide what kind of book you want to write. What do you need? Do you need an illustrator? Is it a nonfiction book? That's the first couple of steps. Writing, get your editor. If you need an illustrator, you do that. There are platforms
that sounds expensive. That just sounds expensive. It does. Get you an editor, an illustrator. I'm just thinking the dollars for these professionals. Goodness gracious, is it expensive? Like you're just adding on people to the team.
like anything else, it can get expensive. It's all about investing in yourself.
Ballpark. What's expensive?
It just depends. You can go anywhere from some people do their own illustrations, so that would be free, right? And then you can go upwards to several thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. It just depends on the illustration style you want, where you're able to find your illustrator at, and the contract that you're able to come up with them. It really it just depends. It's just like, how much does it cost to buy a car? You can get you a hoopty, or your dad can give you his car, or you can go buy you a Tesla.
You want to get back on that bus.
What's your purpose? Are you trying to off-road? Do you need a truck? Are you trying to, save on gas? You want a Tesla? Are you trying to speed around? You need a Camaro? What is it that you need? You have to determine that, like what. But I
$5 a gallon. You'll take what you give me, okay? $5 a gallon, and that's just being modest. I'll take.
Do you need a bus pass? Do you need catch the MARTA, the DART, or the New York subway, whatever it is you want to catch? You figure out what works for you. There's multiple ways to get there.
And likewise with the book writing process, I understand. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
So what about when you went into your second book? You got all the jitters out, you kind of understand what the process is. Did it go by faster, or did it take you longer? Because now you know what the process is. You got some learning pains out the way. How was that process for you?
I think the second book it was quite a different journey with the second one. The first one, it was like riding a bike. The first time I fell, I skinned my knee. I forgot, I need this. Oh no, what's that? Okay, I need to buy that. I need to email this person. I need to do what? How long does it take? But with the second one, I did know the process. So I feel like with my second one, I spent more time on the story because I wanted to be intentional. I was intentional with the first one as well, but with the second one, I wanted to be even more intentional. Like, okay, I've told the story in Jade's Secret Ingredients. What story do I want to tell in my second book, and how do I want that to come together? So, and I think my illustrator was extremely happy with my second book, because with the first one, we were both kind of new, figuring it out. But with the second one, I was like, look, I got my sketches. This is how I want them to look. This is what I want them to wear. Like, I had all of that together for the second one, whereas in the first one, we were kind of fumbling around in the dark. Ooh, what about this? I don't like that, So
the beginnings, right? The beginning.
Yes.
But all of that transition to a place where you were able to come out with JJ Carson's Press. Please let our viewers know what that is.
So I founded JJ Carson Press, which is a children's book publishing company. So that is pretty much like the overseer of my book publication process.
Congratulations, Black woman. Congratulations.
Yes, because there was a very important woman who is a publisher in the field as well, who suggested that. In the beginning, I just thought, I'll write books and I'll just publish them and I'll just do that. But she came in and dropped those jewels, and her name is Crystal Swain Bates out of Atlanta, Georgia. And she said, hey, you can have your own publishing company. That's another way to build generational wealth, which is one of the goals that I wanted from all of this. And so I founded that, and we publish books that feature Black protagonists or Black main characters, and they have social emotional lessons. That's our thing. That's my gig. That's my niche, and I'm gonna stay in it. Okay, that's what I do.
Exactly. See, that's my niche, and I like it, and I'm good at it. Okay. And we're certified. Thank you. But I wanted to touch on that because our business matters are so important. Some people, they just say, hey, I have a skill and I don't know all of that business stuff. And that's okay. Somebody is always available to help you. And so just like you said, hey, I just knew that I wanted to put out this project, but then I had this mentor over here and she said, listen, it's great that you have this project, but let's get your business in order and let's create that generational wealth as you stated. And it's so important that you mentioned that because in our community, we've been trained to work. We've been trained to get a job, do well in a company, and get promoted. And it's harder to get promoted when you look like us. And so it takes a little longer. And you get worn out, right? You get worn out. And corporate will suck you dry and say, here's a pension that was only invested within this company. Have a good day. We didn't teach you nothing about your money or your tenure. And you think you done did a good work. You done did a good deed. But no, there's so much more to this life. There's so much more that needs to be learned. And so I'm grateful for all of our creatives out here, our COVID creatives. Shout out to you all that came out and made something happen for yourselves. Shout out to all the creatives that said, hey, there's greater in me that is in this world, and I'm going to show you all. Shout out to everybody that said, hey, I can do this. I'm going to get up. I'm going to put one foot forward. The resources I don't have now will not hold me back. I will get to it. And that's just how you get it done. And so shout out to you, Miss Ashley Finley, for making sure you said, listen, I have a desire to reach out to a particular audience about a particular subject. And I want to make sure that they can understand it. So how do you talk to children? Wait a minute, I know I asked you that, but like really, how do you talk to children? I know I could say what I want to say to adults, but I don't know how to package that. You know what I mean? For children.
You know,
I know it's relatable, but when I want to give a message, auntie, it's not always children appropriate. So
you know, children, I think sometimes we don't give them enough credit. There are so many things that they pick up on that they may or may not be able to verbalize to us. But if we watch their actions, we will see what they really know. Like, for example, my 3-year-old. So he's 3. He's 3. He's 3. Okay. And what do 3-year-olds do? They do what we do. So what I learned when he was about 2 years old was, okay, he's watching me and he's mimicking what I'm doing, whether or not he could verbalize it and say, oh, mom, you do this, so I'm going to do this. He's doing that. So when I'm working with him, I have to remember my actions speak louder than my words sometimes. And so if I wanted to work with him, like one of the things that we work on together is calming down, taking a deep breath, counting and calming our bodies down. The easiest way to work with him on that was to demonstrate it. So when I get flustered, when something's going on, I say, ooh, mama needs to calm down. Can you help mama calm down? Let's calm down.
and he models that.
And he models that. So then when he gets upset, I say, you seem like you're angry. Are you angry right now? Are you having a moment? Do you need to calm down? And he'll say, yes. Okay. How do we calm down? And he'll say, we take 5 deep breaths. Okay, let's take 5 deep breaths. And so that's how you work with them. It is a certain amount of things that you may, again, you're talking with an adult, we can talk about your amygdala, we can talk about your brain, prefrontal cortex. We're working with kids, you feel anxious, you feel tension in your body, let's get it out. Let's take a deep breath. Let's blow like we're blowing bubbles. We want big bubbles, so we want to blow really slowly. Like there's certain things that you can do with them that still have that same message that you would tell an adult. Maybe it's not as granular in your detail, and maybe you're a little bit more animated with it. Like, oh, are you upset? How can we calm down? You know, to help them get that message. But kids are super, super intelligent, and they pick up on things, and we don't always realize it. So we just really have to take the time, maybe scale it back a little bit to the bones of the message, animate it a little bit, make it funny, make it exciting, make it a game, and then go from there. And they really absorb it really, really well when I produce it that way, produce the message in that way.
Wonderful. You even got me to calm down.
But
but no, you're absolutely right. And I love that you're teaching him to acknowledge his emotions and his feelings at such a young age. Some parents, they'd be like, get over there and sit down and stop that crying. And that's all you get. So that's all you get. You just sitting there tight and angry. You don't know what to do. They throw a cell phone at him to play on the phone. And
then
they
we
sit
become
there
adults,
working at our
know how to
working.
Yes, and we become adults. We become adults who don't know what to do when we get angry. So we go eat a cupcake. So we go on our phone for 3 hours. So then we don't talk to anybody. We don't say anything. We don't want to talk. Oh, we got mad at them. So now we don't talk to them no more because we mad. You know, we just need to, we have to figure out ways. And that's why Jay's secret ingredients, a recipe for managing feelings, really, really, I feel like resonates with adults because it's 9 simple strategies about how to manage your emotions, taking a break, being patient, keep trying, all of those things. Like when I go through that and I read that book as a read aloud to kids often, it reminds me when I'm working, overworking, hey, we need to take a break. I got a lot of things to do and they're important, but my mental health and my own mental space is just as important. And if I hope to be successful and to have longevity, I've got to find some balance or a good rhythm. And today is Netflix day, and we're not working on book stuff tonight. It needs to be done, and it will be, but it won't be today, because today I'm going to be productive in investing in myself. So that is just super important, and that those little nits, the little tidbits are important for our kids, but they're important for us as well, because many of us didn't learn those things.
You're absolutely right. And if we did learn it, it wasn't in that manner, or it was as adults. You gathered it through your life experiences. Like, you know what, not today, Satan. You know, we come up with these sayings. But tell us more about your second book.
Yes. So No Limit, A Story Celebrating the Unconditional Love of a Father, is a very, very special book to me. It was inspired by my husband's relationship with our two sons. And it simply talks about something that many of us are missing in our lives, and that's that unconditional safe space. As I work with kids and adults and different things at different ages as well, I've noticed that, like, we miss that. We miss that safe space to learn and to make mistakes and to grow. And so we have this perfectionist mindset, or we overwork, or we do these things that kind of show that we don't feel like we are enough. And so that's what No Limits talks about, being enough. In the book, there's a line, I think my favorite line that I wrote in that book is like, even when you win first place, or if you're last to finish the race, I still love you. It doesn't matter. You go and you give your all, and whatever you're able to produce, whatever you're able to do, I love you just because of who you are. And so that is the story. That's the message in No Limits. And so it really, really resonates. And then again, I wanted to celebrate our Black fathers and the relationships that they had with that they have with Black sons. And so it is a story it is a message that is timeless, that is ageless, and all of that. We can all relate and read and gain from it. But I wanted to shine that spotlight on our amazing, amazing Black fathers that we have in our community.
Thank you so much. And very, very quickly, if you could put it in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, really quickly, let our viewers know very quickly the steps that it would take to get a publishing company.
Oh,
no, the quick
publishing
steps.
company. I'll go first. Start the LLC. Get you a registered agent. Get you a CPA if you can, or I'll give you a really great tip. Go to your local small business administration, and they can help you. They can help you. That's what I did. The most challenging part of my journey, I will say, has been this publishing company, because I did not have the business background. So I'm learning as I go. I do not consider myself to be an expert. However, I'm someone who's learning and growing. So if you want to get in touch with your local small business administration, you can try Facebook groups, Instagram, search certain hashtags, try all of that, and that'll get you your info.
Good information. Thank you so much. Let our viewers know how they can reach you, how they can gather your books, how they can publish and support and pour into you. It's your time to plug.
Yes. So follow me on social media at Ashley Finley Writes, ASHLEY FINLEYWRITES. Visit my website, jjcarsonpress.com. My books, No Limits, A Story Celebrating the Unconditional Love of a Father, and J's Secret Ingredients, A Recipe for Managing Feelings, are available at Walmart, Target, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Wherever you buy your books from, they should be there. So visit us again, jjcarsonpress.com.
Amen, honey. She didn't say just Amazon and online. Run them stores back again.
Yes, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Walmart, Target. Again, and if you're like me, you can just Google the titles, okay? And they will come up for you, or you can visit our website, jjcarsonpress.com.
And that's how you do it, baby. She said she started off with a goal to write a book. check out where those books are being sold. It's an all-day hustle, and we are going to keep it moving. Thank you so much for joining us. You have just been a part of the Kelly Hollins Show. Go ahead and support Miss Ashley Finley and all of her books. I'm sure she is not done today, baby. She has more to come. Thank you so much, and have a great